Hi, it's Javi Rappaport here. It's Torah Wisdom to Go. Late in the week, I've been traveling a lot. Let's get to it. Hear the wisdom, share it with a friend, subscribe so it comes right to you. Behar, Bechukotai. I always find it so fascinating and enjoyable when two parshiot are read together and at first glance they seem at odds, the content, the theme with each other, but a look a little deeper and then it is nuanced and we see there is such an incredible correlation. But first let's take Behar on its own. Behar at the mountain, which mountain? Of course, Sinai. So, Vayidabar Hashem el Moshe, Behar Sinai. Hashem speaks to Moshe at Har Sinai. And what does Hashem tell Moshe? Ki tavo el haaretz v'shavta haaretz Shabbat l'Hashem. When you arrive to Eretz Yisrael, well, this actually happened 14 years after the Jewish people conquered the land and settled it from the Gentile nations. And then you can work the land for 6 years. On the 7th year, it is like Shabbat. The land lays fallow. Now, it really bears questioning. We're talking about coming from Sinai, coming from that monumental experience, the most spiritual experience ever, godly revelation, everywhere, tangible, so to speak. And what are we talking about here? This is what we're talking about related at Sinai, about working the land, not working the land. And then the Torah goes on to explain in detail what will happen if you don't pay attention and don't carry through on these laws. And it's a negative spiraling, totally apart from this lofty spiritual level. But the Torah wants us to know that we need Behar. We need this lofty experience, spiritual nuance in order to really be able to experience and to navigate through the land, through physicality, through us working through and elevating ultimately our world. It's the Torah, infused with the Torah. That's the only way that we can actually approach the land, physicality in its proper way. Work with it and elevate it. And now to the idea of the two parshiot, Behar, Bechukotai together. Behar on a mountain really speaks about elevation, self-actualization, maybe ego. Bechukotai, follow my statutes. Those are mitzvot that we totally don't understand. They're above our reason and we have no clue why we're doing them other than Hashem said so. Behar seems to talk of me. Bechukotai, nullification of me. How does this work? And it's such a beautiful concept. In order for really to be Behar, to really access the real me, to have that real sense of actuality, of har, of pride, real healthy pride, it has to come Bechukotai. When we move our ego aside, interestingly enough, it sounds so counterintuitive, but when we move our ego aside, which is symbolic in Bechukotai, I'm putting Hashem's will totally before my own. I don't really understand why. When I do that, that's when my true har emerges. And that's when I can be the conduit for the greatest blessings that come from Hashem. Only when I nullify my ego do I open myself up to the true har of who I am. So our takeaway is, in a situation where you can put yourself aside, don't feel like you're lowering yourself. Realize that it's a noble act that is attaching you to a much, much higher source. Have a wonderful Shabbat.